Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Emmanuel. If you're here, you're probably on a journey of self-improvement, aiming to become more productive, efficient, and connected with yourself and others. Today's video takes a unique turn as we explore how deep listening, yes, listening and empathy, can become a powerful productivity tool. And we'll delve deeper into how you can track your progress, boost your efficiency, and measure real result. So if you've ever felt like you're working hard but not seeing the expected gains, or if you're doing a whole lot but still feeling unproductive, then this video is for you. You may be wondering why listening equals productivity. But first, let's define the concept of listening. Listening here goes beyond just hearing. It's about being present, observing what's said and unsaid, most especially, reflecting and connecting. You might wonder how this leads to productivity. Well, when you listen deeply to others, to yourself, you uncover valuable insights, reduce wasted effort, align tasks with their meaning, and improve relationships, which ultimately means fewer disruptions and miscommunication. Let me share a brief story from my early career. I was working on a project where my manager provided me with what I perceived as a straightforward instructions to complete a report. She mentioned something like, focus on the performance metrics from last quarter. We'll use them in next week's strategy meeting. I made a crucial mistake though. I heard what she said, but failed to really listen. I jumped in and spent 2 consecutive days meticulously analyzing various metrics, including things like inventory levels, fulfillment percentages, and turnaround times, all the usual suspects. And by the way, I'm a business analyst by profession. The results looked impressive with clean charts, trend lines, and everything in place. However, when I presented my findings, I received a simple one-line response. This is great, but I meant customer-facing performance metrics, not internal ones. In an instant, 2 days of work were like wasted. The worst part was that if I had paused for just 10 more seconds and asked a clarifying question, such as, just to confirm, when you say performance metrics, are we referring to internal KPIs or customer feedback metrics? I could have saved 2 days and a significant amount of mental energy. That moment truly resonated with me. Fast forward a few months and I encountered a similar situation. Someone gave me a vague task, and this time I chose to pause and listen. I reflected back their words, asked a follow-up question, and quickly summarized the task before diving in. Not only did I complete the task more efficiently, but my team also, my manager also expressed gratitude for the clarity I provided. She said, most people don't slow down enough to double check their work. Thank you for making it easier for everyone. That realization struck me. Deep listening not only saves time, but also prevents rework and fosters trust. I want you all to understand that there are numerous productivity systems that emphasize tools, routines, and time blocks, but they often overlook the importance of the human and emotional aspects. You are bringing that crucial layer to the table. How to practice deep listening. I have a few tips for you guys. Tip 1, be fully present. Eliminate distractions and focus solely on the speaker, or engage in an internal dialogue if you're listening to yourself. Tip number 2, reflect and paraphrase. After someone speaks, repeat what you've heard in your own words, This practice validates and clarifies the information. Tip number 3, instead of offering instant solutions, ask questions. Instead of jumping in with, here's what you should do, ask, what do you feel about that? Or what do you think is the biggest challenge here? Tip number 4, listen to yourself. For productivity, you must pay attention to your own signals: energy, mood, motivation, and fatigue. Ignoring these signs or these signals can lead to things like burnout or worse, underperformance. Now, I want to do a mini challenge or a mini exercise with you guys. For the next 24 hours, choose one conversation and commit to listening only for the first 80% of your attention. Hold back advice until the last 20%. Notice what happens. It's important that you notice what you're feeling and how internally what you're feeling and how you're responding. So far, we have built the habit of listening. Now let's connect that to tracking your productivity. Now, how do we link this up? Tracking yourself, how do we connect this missing link? But first of all, you have to introduce something like self-measurement for yourself. Why tracking is important, you may ask, or why tracking your self-measurement, you may ask. When you listen to yourself and others, you gain data. How your task aligns with your values, how your energy fluctuates, and how your progress is going. Now, there are 2 levels of measurement that I want you guys to take note of. First of all, there is micro daily tracking. For instance, for an example, things like end of day reflections, like, did I listen first today? Did I act with empathy? Was I productive? Or what distracted me? It's important that you're asking this question to self-evaluate yourself. And now for the second measurement, you should look into something like macro weekly, monthly tracking. For an example, review your habit log, your listening quality, your productivity output, and your emotional state is very important because as humans, we're led by emotions, and getting to a point where we can regulate and master our emotions is very, very important. Now, there are tools that I can think of that I use in my own life that I think that might be of great benefit to you guys. So, for instance, things like a simple spreadsheet. I utilize that with Notion. Journals. I have journals on my tablet or my iPhone. Or apps. You can download apps that can, I'm sure there are apps out there that can help you with your productivity and your listening and gaining more empathy. And finally, old-fashioned notebook. You can have your old-fashioned notebook to track yourself. So how do we link listening, tracking, and productivity? If you listen to your energy cycle and worked during your peak window, you accomplish more. So you may be asking or wondering how habit formation ties with efficiency techniques, right? Well, look at it this way. It's the bridge to classic productivity habits, but with your unique twist. So there are a few techniques that I like to observe to help me more productive. So for instance, habit stacking, things like habit stacking. So for instance, after I complete my listening reflection, I will open my task list. Another thing I like to observe is time boxing and listening to signals. So things like when I feel low energy, I'll switch from deep work to a reflection or listening session. So now How do you prioritize empathy? Well, things you need to ask yourself is what task will serve both others and myself? What will make me feel good about the day? So, these are the things that you need to think about when you're prioritizing with empathy. Now, how does that lead to efficiency? Well, real productivity is doing the right tasks with clarity and connection. Listening helps pick those tasks. So, I want us to do a 7-day mini challenge, something to reinforce all that we have talked about today. So, from day 1 to 2, focus on listening during every conversation, at least for more than 5 minutes. Day 3 to 4, reflect on your day and track your progress. From day 5 to 6, identify your productivity peak and schedule your most important tasks there. Now, finally, on day 7, review your results, note changes, and plan your next week. See, I encourage you guys to share your experience in the comments. I would love to read about your comments, and so let's engage in this conversations of building ourselves. So to recap and come to the conclusion of this conversation, I would like us to, you know, go through everything that we have talked about today to be able to reinforce everything that we've learned. So, to recap, deep listening is a productivity tool. Tracking behavior gives clarity, and forming habits combines empathy and efficiency. Now, I encourage you guys to pick a conversation to practice listening. Track one thing tonight. Try the 7-day challenge and check back next week for your result. Guys, please, I would love if you guys would hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below about one thing you listen to differently today. This helps with engagement. This helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps for this video to reach other people. So I thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this video, and I really, really love and appreciate you all. Next time on the next series, we'll design your productivity system based on listening insights and build a workflow that aligns with you. So, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate and enjoy this time having this conversation with you guys. Until next time, bye bye.